Welcome to the Meet a Wedding Vendor series. Get ready to spend a few moments with some stellar wedding professionals.
We're going to ask them about their favorite events, top tips for couples, and how they got into the business.
Let's meet today's guest.
This week, we're talking to Amy Civetti, graphic designer and art director, who specializes in wedding stationery. Let's meet Amy.
I am a graphic designer, and in the last couple of years, I've decided to kind of start dabbling more in the wedding stationery world. I went to art school, so since 2010, I've been working professionally as a graphic designer, but when I moved to DC, I saw all these other designers using all of their skills in these side gigs and kind of connecting with community in a different way. So it's totally opened up my mind to different ways that I can be designing outside of my 9-to-5 job. One of my favorite things is that every wedding kind of has its own brand or its own theme. So it's really cool to be able to kind of take an event like that from start to finish, like a regular design project. But it's also cool because weddings are so personal to the client. So that way, you know, if they're happy in the end, it's a lot more rewarding sometimes than a regular project. I think one of the most important things is thinking about their overall budget. It's always helpful to kind of know what they want to spend on stationery. And I also think them knowing the bigger picture is really helpful. So a lot of clients come to me and say, I really just want a save the date, but they kind of forget that there's so many more pieces that come after that. So it's nice if I know, do you also need an invitation? Do you also want menus? Do you need stuff at the wedding? And do you want it all to match? So just coming in with kind of like a bigger picture idea is really helpful for me. Usually I tell my couples, if you're ever trying to save a little bit of money but still want your stationery to look really good, you should always increase the weight of your paper. So the heavier the paper, the fancier it looks. People feel like it's this really fancy piece of thing that they've received in the mail. So even if you want to go print through kind of a lower cost printing option online, just try to pick a little bit of a heavier paper and it'll make everything seem way fancier. Probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do is one of my friends had a wedding in Colorado and she wanted an illustrated map of kind of all of the parts of her wedding. So her rehearsal dinner, the hotel, the reception. So she sent me all these photos of the landmarks and I illustrated the whole map. It was really cool to get to do something kind of outside of the traditional invitation route. And also it's like a useful piece for people on the day, which is kind of nice. Because sometimes you make wedding invitations and you're like, I hope people keep these, but sometimes they don't. So it's nice to make something that people are actually using. I think it's really hard. I've already had a couple friends had to cancel weddings and showers and events, obviously. But I think one thing that's cool is you can get married anytime. So you can still get married, you know, at a courthouse if you want to. And the people who care about you will always want to celebrate with you. So maybe try not to think about it in this like consolidated time crunch right now. It could happen anytime and people will still want to celebrate. So just kind of like look to the future. And I think it'll still be great, even if it's not happening right now. For my wedding, I also designed Koozies to put at the bar because we served all of our beer in cans to kind of eliminate a lot of glassware on site. And I actually had to order a really large quantity of them because that was what the website like minimum was. And at the end of the night, they were all gone. They got picked up super quickly. And now, years later, people still tell me that they use them every night. They have multiples that they took home with them. And like, Mike and I didn't even get one to take home. They were that popular. So it was kind of a nice reminder that like, even if you're designing all these invitations and stuff, there's still ways to kind of design fun stuff on site that your guests will probably always remember.